Hi, everyone. This is just a quick overview on the Writing to Process Thinking course that you have signed up for. I'm going to just go through in about 8 minutes and talk through how this course works and how to navigate through it. Here's the course's purpose, which is fostering writing opportunities that process the thinking. So the process thinking is really a big part of it in all of our classrooms. I would like to challenge you to find yourself in the resources shared. A lot of them are probably very familiar to you, but really think about what speaks to you and what you can bring back to your students. Here is the video of how to navigate the course that you're watching right now. Here's the course's structure, how to navigate through it. It will be asynchronous, which means there will not be any live engagement. A lot of the engagement will be happening throughout the Padlet at your own pace, and also interacting with that Padlet when other people in the course, when they respond. To receive credit at the end, there's a checklist to make sure you go through. Here are the course's outcomes, which kind of represent the chapters almost of the course, which we'll go through. You simply just need your device and then lesson plans and materials, as you will be creating and simulating a writing to process thinking activity for your students. So the first part is understanding why we write. Here's your first discussion question. All of you, I'm sure, are familiar with Padlet. So when you see this little Padlet icon, simply click on it and you will see the corresponding question on the Padlet for you to respond to. I have put all the questions on. The first one of why do students write in the classroom, and you simply can just add your own response here, and people will be able to engage and comment throughout the course. So that is the number one, and you will see number two, and so on and so forth. Reading why students, why we need to write and continuously write. Again, more why do we write? And really, this whole course is focusing on the processing. It's supporting that thinking and the processing. Padlet question number two. Here's the first source, which is a video of how to write your way to better thinking. This video will be referenced in an activity later. Here's a response again. Padlet, another source. This is your brain on writing and how writing practice can really improve that thinking. A Padlet response. And the final source, why students should write in all subject areas. You'll just simply click on these links. A response. And then we will explore writing in the classroom and different ways to go about it, along with how to provide an audience so you aren't the only audience grading and reading all of this writing. We know that writing's biggest enemy can be that grading, so just really reflecting on ways to get that off of your hands and more in the hands of the students. So we will be investigating many of these different things you, I'm sure, are familiar with and know. However, I encourage you to challenge yourself on ways to reflect, maybe even adapt these tools that you know, how to use them potentially differently to really enhance that thinking process. Another reflection, some more ideas just about modeling, more ideas, sentence starters. All of you have used those, but it's just a place to reflect on, different ways to use that. Another Padlet, practice, really emphasizing that pausing and thinking about what we're going to write before we do. See, Think, Wonder, another strategy all of you, I'm sure, have used, and a Padlet to reflect. Also then thinking about real world writing purposes and really motivating students. Here's where you'll be practicing what we have been discussing. So I would like for everyone, if they could, to, when you get to this point, make a copy. And you will see here that these three sources are the sources that were referenced earlier. They need to watch the video again on how to write your way to better thinking. And then I'd really like to encourage you just to pause for a minute, set a timer on your phone, do whatever you need to really think about what do you now know after watching it. And then write nonstop. You can use the sentence starters over here for 5 minutes about what you now know after watching that. Then go to source 2. Same thing. You already read this. Think for 1 minute. What do you now know? And then write nonstop using the sentence starters. Source 3. Maybe reread it. Pause and think. That pausing and thinking is crucial about what you now know, and then write nonstop for 5 minutes. Then here, write to process. What do you now know reviewing all 3 sources? For the literacy teachers out there and some social studies teachers, this is a research simulation, which is given at the state level. So this looks probably very familiar. And then finally, share. We will be sharing out on the Padlet. Please make sure in the share settings that your copy is open to all staff so people can review your writing and your processing thinking. Here is where you will submit. It's submission number 9. And now here's ways to investigate ideas that allow for an audience that isn't you. The teacher always being the audience for students really takes up a lot of time and can be a huge enemy. Again, nothing new, I'm sure, for many of you, but maybe just a good space to review several tools and things that you already know. So this one was with peers, different ideas. This is with teacher, self, or a mentor. Again, really reflecting on what have you tried, what has worked, and maybe what's a couple of new things to try. Discussion for you to put on our Padlet for others also to respond. And finally, well, not finally, but the third part is identifying pieces within your curriculum that you can use in the classroom. So here you will be going through an upcoming lesson. If you're taking this over the summer, maybe something that you will be doing first quarter. Find 3 sources similar to what I modeled for you. Link the sources into that same document. It's going to force you to make a copy. This one should be blank. Yes, well, it is blank in the sense you can link it in. And then actually fill it out yourself that you can use as a model for your students. So you will be picking 3 sources, preferably a video on a topic, same topic, a similar reading, and then either a video or a reading. So you are just replicating what we already did with something in your content area. Once you have done that, go ahead and upload your document to what is the final discussion question on our Padlet. Then read over the Padlet submissions and comment or question on 4 Padlet submissions. This will hopefully spark new ideas in colleagues and potentially also yourself. Finally, reflecting on the outcomes. Here, if you can, go ahead and complete this form, giving me honest feedback. I'm always looking for ways to improve and grow myself. So looking for the feedback. There is a question on the form that asks about the amount of time this course took. I am putting it down as 5 hours, but it may have taken you longer. So if that is the case, please definitely note that. And if the responses come back that it did take more than 5 hours, I will more than likely be bumping it to worth 10 hours of completion for you for when you get those CPDs. Finally, there's a completion checklist. In order to have completed this course, you need to complete all 11 Padlets, engage in the final 4 post comments or questions, complete that reflection form, and finally email me stating that you have finished the course. I will be checking this course throughout the entire session. And if you have any kind of questions, please definitely contact me. If you notice any errors that I made, please let me know. And I will definitely be responsive to any of your needs or feedback. I hope you enjoy. I hope you get a couple of takeaways, and I thank you for your time.